Hi, Spillanshell Podcast here. My name's Maisa. I'm going to be your host today. Our new guest for the first episode of season 2 is a wonderful person, my Swedish teacher. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Alex. I'm 31 years young.
Correct.
And I am indeed Swedish teacher, and I'm a public speaking consultant, and many other things that probably we will cover today while talking.
Oh, yeah. Well, first question that I think you get asked a lot. How did you come to learn Swedish?
Well, if I had one brick for every single question that I was asked, every single time I was at this question, I think I would build maybe like something like that we see outside of the window. This goes all the way back to 2009, when I still was a huge Eurovision fan, and I still am a Eurovision fan, just in case. Basically, in 2009, when Eurovision came to Moscow, I kind of got crazy about everything that was going on around the contest, and I started watching every single national selection that existed at that time, which means that pretty much every single Saturday I spent a couple of hours in front of my computer watching, listening, and trying to pick the favorite. And one day I discovered what Melodifestivalen was. Melodifestivalen is a Swedish national selection for Eurovision that's been running since 1959.
Oh my god.
And in 2009, I saw the list of participants. Back then, there were 32 ones, for semifinals, 8 participants in each. And there were 2 familiar names. One of them was Alcazar, which for younger audience, I'm going to explain who they were. They were really a huge disco group, I think like late 90s, early 2000s. And that's why I knew who they were. And another familiar name was Molly Sandén. This is the girl who represented Sweden, who had represented Sweden. Let's stay very close to proper grammar.
Yeah.
That had represented Sweden in 2006 at Junior Eurovision with the song "The finaste någon kan få," the finest thing that you can get, and she actually achieved the 3rd place for Sweden, which is still unbeatable to this day.
Oh.
And Sweden did not participate in Junior Eurovision, so probably this record will be held for quite a while.
Yeah.
And she debuted at Melodifestivalen with the song called "Så vill stjärnorna," which means the stars want so. And I guess that the stars really wanted that I would come across this wonderful piece of music and this wonderful piece of humankind, which she was, and who still is, of course. And and basically I fell in love with the song, the girl, the language, and it has an exact date, the 21st of February 2009.
Oh.
And
nice.
When she was performing in the wonderful town of Leksand, that is in central Sweden. And she advanced to the final. Unfortunately, she came last in the final that year, but she came first in my heart that year.
I think you've met her.
I have several times.
How was it?
Well, the first encounter that we had was in 2012, and it was my first trip to Sweden in a quite kind of small town called Eskilstuna, and which is, I think, 2 hours bus ride from Stockholm. And that was amazing. Like, that was really a dream come true. And what I wasn't expecting at that moment, that the first thing she would do besides saying hey would be hugging us. I was not expecting that at all. I didn't know that much of the Swedish culture back then. I didn't know that they were huggers. And they love hugging.
Aww.
And I didn't expect that to happen. And we were promised to have only like 15 minutes with her, but we ended up having 15. And we interviewed her, we exchanged the stories, and I told her everything behind my Swedish back then. I couldn't speak proper Swedish with her because I was not alone, because I had 2 other friends who couldn't speak Swedish at that time. So we spoke English, and we conversed in English. Let's put it in a more advanced language here. Basically, after that meeting, there was a concert. It was an amazing concert, live with a band, dancers, and but comparing to what she's doing now, it was kind of small show. Then later we met again at Melodifestivalen. I went to this wonderful final of Melodifestivalen in 2016. When she was competing again, and she was in the finals, and what surprised me a lot was that she actually recognized me after this huge pause, and because like the story was the following, it was so weird. We were standing with my colleague. She was passing by, she saw us, she said hey, and then stopped and said, wait a second, I don't recognize you, where are you from? And like, I'm from Russia, my colleague was from Latvia, and she remembered him from an autograph session that she had, which was like, they met like for a minute or two or something like that, but he still remembered his face. I was astonished by this wonderful fact. Yeah. And then later, so there was an 8-year gap between our meetings, even though we did encounter each other in different situations. Like she ended up in Swedish media because of me. She contacted me via Facebook, like prohibited media in Russia, and then last year, 2024, I went to Sweden, and we met again. And there was kind of there was a very that was very unlikely actually that it would happen, but because like everything went crazy throughout the whole trip, and before the trip, because I got my visa 6 hours before the first flight.
Yeah, I think I remember reading about that.
Yeah, and that was the most stressful thing ever, I would think. And then I got the visa, and then 1 hour later we got the magazine that we made for her, that we had to print out like literally the same day. And then there was a thing in Sweden during the concert that is called, in Swedish it's called väskförbud, which I think would translate into English as like bag prohibition or something like that, because to the concert or to any huge events you couldn't take any bag with you, any at all.
Like at all?
At all.
I mean, I was at 2 concerts this year in Moscow. Right. And like, I brought my bags with me every time, so it was no problem here.
That's Moscow.
Even after the last year, what happened last year in Crocus, I mean, they are still allowed. People are looking through your bags, but still they are allowed, which is weird, because I mean, people can bring anything, and
pretty much.
Yeah.
But there was like in Sweden now that's a very strict rule that you cannot take any bags with you, and there were people who were not aware of that rule. And there was a guy, I have no idea from where he's from, but definitely not from Sweden. He couldn't speak Swedish, and he was stopped by the guards, and there was a wonderful quote, I would say, from this guard that like there was a table right next to the entrance, and this guard told him that, okay, so you can leave your bag here, and if it's still here, you can take it back after the concert.
So like there's a possibility that someone will take this bag.
Exactly, and like there are thousands of people at this concert, so like it's
That's weird, because like the 2 concerts I went to were at the Adrenaline Stadium, which is now VK Stadium.
Right.
Weird, hate it.
Well,
I hate the name change. It was unwarranted. And then the other was CSKA Arena. And both places, in both places you could store your bags in a storage
compartments.
Yeah, storage compartments, or in the wardrobe. You could give them to the people at the wardrobe. So there was no chance of someone stealing something from you, especially at CSKA Arena, because like they're just like special compartments. You get the key, and that's all.
Right.
That's weird. I mean, Sweden is one of I think, the safest kind of countries.
It is, but maybe that's why there were no storage at all, because like nobody would steal anything. But at the same time, there were...
Or maybe because everyone would comply with the rule.
Maybe, and also like there are open air concerts, so like it was not in the arenas or something. So maybe that's why they didn't think it through. And that was the first year of this rule. So like I was unlucky enough, but I was lucky enough to hide this bag on my body. So basically like in the trouser.
Oh.
In one of the trousers that I had. and basically like they luckily they didn't search me, so like I could bring it with me. But yeah, so we met before the concert with Molly, and she understood that it was me. I wouldn't say that she would recognize me because since the last time we met, I think, well, obviously the mustache and beard appeared.
And the haircut.
And the haircut as well, of course. And also, but when she saw me, she said that like she complimented my Swedish, and hopefully at that moment she remembered that it was because of her, because when we met at Melody Festival and 8 years prior to that, she couldn't remember that I spoke Swedish, let alone remembering the reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did speak a bit, and she was astonished by the fact that I actually went from Russia to Sweden to see her, because she assumed that I lived in Sweden.
Oh, well, a lot of people, when I talk about you, they assume that you're a foreigner, because I never mentioned, like, for me, you go by Alex, and I'm used to calling you Alex, and I call you Alex in every circumstance when I talk about you and all that, and people are like, does he speak Russian at all? I'm like, yeah, he was born here.
Конечно, говорю по-русски.
Yeah, so that was kind of so yeah, that's cool. I think my journey into Swedish began like in 2019, I think. I was in the 10th grade, and like I went to this language center, and then a year later I met you, and that was awkward. That was awkward. I remember being like embarrassed about my Swedish, because in the year that I was studying it, I didn't get the A2 level that I was promised, kinda, because well, the professor was so. I wouldn't say that she was doing a good job as a professor.
Okay.
I actually met her last September at the European Day of Languages.
Okay.
We conversed a bit. She remembered me. She asked me if I continued learning Swedish. I was like, yeah. Well, not now. There was like a half a year gap because we didn't start the lessons again.
Right.
But yeah, that was nice. And then I think my Swedish got better, first of all, because of you. Because, to be honest, the lessons you gave, they were kind of better in that sense that, like, they were longer.
Were they though?
No, but they were the same 2 hours. I mean, you weren't rushing us through the textbook.
Ah, okay. You mean that, okay.
I mean that, and that was one of the best things, because right now I have a student who's learning Swedish with me, and in I think a month or like month and a half, we are already on the 4th chapter.
That's quite
fast.
The speed, yeah.
Yeah, but like he's really good at taking in material, and I mean, I'm remembering the way it was explained to me, and I'm finding a way to do it better.
Nice.
So yeah.
But interestingly, sorry for interrupting. Interestingly, you say that you were embarrassed when we started. Because I happened to embarrass myself in front of you several months prior to that.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Oh. Yeah. It was. I think it was. What was the
cinnamon bun day?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. When I was playing the guitar.
That was fine. I mean, I shouldn't have walked up to you and told you that like your guitar is out of tune and all that.
That was okay. I did realize that actually.
It was out of tune.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was a holiday that like they celebrate in Sweden. It's Cinnamon Bun Day. We were eating, we were eating cinnamon buns. We actually have what is this thing called?
A tray?
Yeah, a tray of cinnamon buns just behind the camera. It was a holiday, and Alex was singing a Russian song translated into Swedish and playing guitar, and it was you were singing Я свободен.
Yeah. I did have that translation back then, right?
Yeah, you did.
That was one of the songs that I embarrassed myself with. Okay.
Yeah, and that was okay. okay. I mean, I wasn't a professional player then, and like I don't consider myself.
Neither was I.
I don't consider myself a professional player now, but I know that I have the skill now to assess what I'm doing wrong. And I mean, I shouldn't have walked up to you and said those things, but still, I mean, yeah, I didn't know at the time that you were. I mean, I didn't pay attention to whatever they were saying, so I didn't know you were the professor at the. At
had you known, would you?
I mean, I would. I don't know. I mean, I'm still like I'm happy that you were teaching me because after we were, so it went like this. We studied in a group for a year, and then COVID hit, and then the group fell out kind of, and I was the one left, and we continued our lessons, and then I passed Swedish for B2 level. I still have my certificate. I love it, but I think I'm not B2 anymore. I'm like B1 maybe. Why are you looking at me like this? I was always underestimating myself. It was the main thing. Because I remember the lessons that I would always say that I'm dumb and I don't know shit. And then Alex would be like, really? Really? Oh yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
So speaking about Melodifestivalen,
Right.
I remember while I was remembering our lessons, I remember that like a year maybe after you started teaching us, you went to Sweden to take interviews or something. It was like 2020.
February 2020, yeah.
So I didn't ask you back then, and I don't remember now. Why did you go to Sweden then? I think there were some interviews or something.
I was doing, well, how can I put it? So I have a friend who has a YouTube channel, and she was conducting interviews for Melodifestivalen. That was the semi-final 4, and I was helping her behind the camera actually. Not the best helper in the world. I fucked up a couple of moments, unfortunately, but yeah. So that was my case, and that was my task. Even though before going there, I thought that I was supposed to take some interviews as well, so be in front of the camera as well.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it didn't happen. But anyway, yeah. So it was sort of a journalist job, sort of, but behind the camera.
Yeah, but that's still cool. I remember you were walking around like all the cities. I think it was Stockholm, Malmö, Lund.
That was, well, in that trip,
Yeah.
that was Malmö primarily. Lund it was, I think.
Yeah, because I remember the beautiful houses of the university city.
Right, it was Stockholm a bit, and it was also Växjö, I would say. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Because like there was like internal championships for athletics where my friends competed, and that's why I went to Växjö after Malmö, where I did the journalist gig.
The Malmö videos were insane because Alex gave us a task to watch his stories and then ask him when he comes back some questions in Swedish. And I was watching them every day, recording them to rewatch them, to write questions. I had like a whole page worth of questions.
Just to be clear, there were a lot of stories. From that period, a lot.
And I was watching them every day, like every evening. I come onto Instagram, which is prohibited in Russia, and like recording every story. And I'm like, okay. And the worst part was Malmö, because it was so windy that you could barely understand shit. Like it was crazy. It was like interfering with the mic and all that, and I still managed to ask some questions about Malmö.
Right.
And the turning torso, I think.
Right.
Yeah. I still remember something about Sweden, aside from Stockholm, Västerås, and like...
Västerås, okay. Because of Game of Thrones?
Yeah, okay. I don't watch it, but like, I remember that, like, the city, Västerås.
Right.
And yeah, Malmö, and Göteborg, because of the
And Göteborg,
pronunciation.
okay, alright.
Because of the pronunciation, I was trying to explain to my student, who is our new designer, by the way. I tried to explain to him how certain sounds are pronounced, because there are so many. I've noticed it when I was teaching.
Mhm.
There's so many exceptions that I didn't think about. With the G letter, for example, energi.
Energi, yeah.
Why, like, project? Well-
Foreign words.
Oh,
Foreign for Swedish.
is that because of that?
I would guess, yeah.
Well, oh yeah, probably. I didn't think about that.
Like wherever you want to say je or something like that in Swedish, it would be for.
Yeah, because they don't have the sound.
They know.
I mean, there are a lot of things that I still have questions about, and I'm too scared to text you because you might be busy.
Why?
I'm like, well, he's a busy guy. He has a lot of like conferences and all that like public speaking stuff.
I am, but still, like, why not text?
I mean, I always think that I'm annoying you with my texts. I'm like,
I wouldn't be here if, like.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, there were some things like G on the end of the word, like kori.
Right. Yeah.
Why? I have no idea why. Because it.
Just because.
Just because. And also, I found, well, our designer got me into a Swedish group that I didn't know was Swedish. Ghost.
Oh, I've never heard of him. Well,
Mariana Cross.
doesn't help.
Uh,
Sorry.
okay, but like.
Should they leave or? Like...
No. That's interesting because I didn't know they were Swedish because the lead singer Tobias Forge, but for some reason on Swedish TV he's pronounced Forge. I have no idea
He's
why.
Swedish though, or Norwegian?
He is Swedish. He was born in Sweden.
Okay.
But like for some reason Forge.
Okay.
I mean he was on SVT.
Alright.
They had an interview with him. I don't remember which program exactly it was, but yeah, they pronounce him Forge. And then I go into Wiki and it's Forge, and I'm like, which one is it? So yeah, they focus on like pop rock music, mostly like satanic inspiration. Well, their main
Pop rock satanic. Okay.
yeah,
Nice combination. I like it.
their main the main well, the lead singer Tobias, his attire for the concerts is a full face mask.
Oh.
Like a realistic mask with kind of skeletal, I would say, makeup, and then the Pope outfit, but in dark colors. It looks really cool.
Okay.
And
Check it out.
yeah, the interesting thing why I started talking about this, we were watching. So they have lore videos about the characters because every album is a different Pope. Like
alright.
Pope the first, the second, no. Primo, secondo, terzo, and then Copia, and then Perpetua now, the fifth.
Okay.
That's interesting, and so they had lore videos, and we were, me and Jenny were watching them, and he didn't notice the accent, and I was like, no, listen closely. He said "just." It's like it's like the best giveaway. This is
Oh.
yeah.
Great.
This is Terzo, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, and all of them have different personalities. I forget the word in linguistics. There's a word for the when the author invents different personalities. It's not alter ego. There is another word because he tries to live through them and like impersonate them right from their perspective. This is a really interesting concept. If I remember, it will be on the screen, and I think that's this phenomenon because like I know that Fernando Pessoa, I think the Portuguese poet, he had a lot of these personalities, and he published books under different names, different pseudonyms, which were his personalities, and one of those personalities wrote a poem. Dedicated to the death of his another personality. That was it's
that's meta.
Yeah, that's meta. That's really meta. And I mean, that's why I found my love for linguistics like a year ago, I think.
Okay.
I was like 3 years, I was like, no, I don't need that, and I'm gonna be a translator. And I'm like, oh my god, science is cool. Like, I mean, so, what is your education? Because you finished university, and I think a couple of times.
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah, so my bachelor degree is in education, actually in teaching. I am a teacher of English and geography. Just for the record, I did teach geography 180 minutes in my life. And that would be it. Maybe forever. And then my master's degree is in actually in translation and interpreting of Scandinavian languages with the main subject in Swedish. So bachelor degree was done in Moscow Pedagogical State University, mostly known as Lenin Pedagogical University, and master's degree I did in Moscow State University at Department of Philology.
Wow, that's cool. And how many languages do you know?
Well, no and no. I mean, define no.
I know you studied a lot. I know you have a level in Esperanto, I think.
Yes, I do.
I know that you know most of the Scandinavian languages.
Well, I have tried to study, I think, maybe 22 languages or something like that. I have tried to study. For the record, I don't speak 22 languages.
Let's go through the ones that you do speak and the ones you did try to study.
Well, obviously I do speak English.
Yeah.
I speak Swedish. To some extent, I speak German. I speak to some extent again Icelandic.
Yeah.
To some extent, and I wouldn't admit to that, but still I have to some extent, I do speak Danish. What else?
Estonian?
I learned Estonian, but I wouldn't say that I can speak it.
Yeah.
I think I can speak a bit of. Well, let's unite some of the languages by the name of Serbo-Croatian.
Okay.
Because I tried to study Serbian, Croatian, and Slovenian.
Wow.
But with Serbian it didn't work out. With Croatian there was some issues as well while studying, and with Slovenian that's the most recent addition to this list. But unfortunately, I had to stop because I moved back from St. Petersburg and I couldn't couldn't afford it at the moment. Yeah. But I would love to come back because I loved Slovenian. That's probably out of Slavic languages that I have tried to study, that's probably my favorite one. Even though I do speak Ukrainian. To some extent, I can understand. I can understand Belarusian. I can understand Norwegian, obviously. Thanks to Swedish, I don't speak Norwegian, but
neither do I. But I kind of understand.
Yeah. So I think, thanks to Icelandic, I can understand sort of Faroese.
Oh my god! Really?
Well, there was a video speaking about Eurovision. There was a girl who represented Denmark.
Yeah,
She's Faroese.
Yeah, she's Faroese.
She's Faroese, and she and Icelandic guys, they did a video together when they were speaking Icelandic and she was speaking Faroese, and they could understand each other to some extent.
Nice.
And listening to them, they were saying the very plain things, but I couldn't understand what the Icelandic guys, but what she was saying, I also kind of understood, even though Faroese is a bit different. It's a bit, I wouldn't say younger, but newer to comparing to Icelandic. And also, I have studied, you mentioned Esperanto, but even though I do have a certificate of intermediate level in Esperanto, I don't speak a word at this very moment because
you can read, probably.
I think, the thing is that even you can read Esperanto because you speak Portuguese.
It's understandable. You can understand. It's like Inner Slavic.
Sort of, sort of. So, or Scandinavian, or
interlingua.
Interlingua, So, but I have tried to. You can talk about Finno-Ugric languages, Estonian, as we mentioned. I tried to Duolingo Finnish, but
how did it go?
It did well. It did go okay. I learned that some birds can be nasty. Thanks to this wonderful examples of Duolingo. No, not the birds, the cats.
Oh.
There was in a sentence that a cat is naughty. something like that. And I don't remember how to say it in Finnish, but still. And I did try to study Hungarian, but
one I didn't know.
Yeah, it was I think back in 2017 when I re-encountered one of the Hungarian groups that is called Nox. They were doing like sort of pop folk sound. They represented Hungary at Eurovision 2005, and like I used to listen to their albums quite a lot. And I bought like a self-study book of Hungarian, and I did study a bit, but it didn't work out as well. And there were some others, like at university I studied French, didn't work out. Spanish, not at university, but with a private teacher, didn't work out. Then I actually did have a self-study book of Portuguese in 2017. Didn't work out.
Keep
Yeah, and maybe there were some others, like European mostly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like my relations with languages is still
kind of turbulent.
Turbulent, yeah. I still can sing in a lot of languages, but it doesn't mean that I can speak them. So.
Yeah, but like I think if mimicking is the way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how we learn phonetics.
Right.
Because like Jane, my student, sometimes he cannot pronounce the U. And he's like, can you please repeat it? I want to see how you articulate it.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's one of the coolest things, like knowing how to articulate. And like now I understand why the textbook had these weird pictures.
Yeah.
They're really helpful.
They are.
Now I understand it. I didn't before, but like, so you also mentioned that you are a Eurovision fan.
Oh yeah.
And
a nerd, I would say.
Yes. And this year's Eurovision was interesting to say the least.
Okay.
Well, I think the entries were good, better than the last year. Last year's entries, they were weak.
Let's agree to disagree.
Okay, you think last year was better?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not like that big of a fan because you got me into Eurovision.
Well, apparently I did, yeah.
Yeah, you first got me into Melodifestivalen.
I did.
Which was in 2020, and I remember that the Mamas won with a song. I forgot the name.
Look at me.
Move, yeah. That's the way he taught me during our Swedish lessons. Like, if I forget something, he started like doing this like theatrical. Do you remember Jag orkar inte mer?
Of course. How you believed me and when I was falling down alongside the wall.
That was crazy because your acting is superb, and I'm absolute cinema, guys. Absolute cinema.
Don't get your hopes too high.
You didn't see the I can't anymore. How he fell on the wall and just like slid down. No, that was, I believe him. I thought he was dying. Like genuinely.
I was 25 back then.
You were so. I always forget that you're over 30 now, and I'm like, in my head you're still 26. And that was like a year ago, 2 years ago. I would always say that you were 26, and you're like, well, thanks, I guess.
And I'm 31.
That's amazing. I want to be that active when I'm 31, because I don't know, my work will not be that like exciting, I think. But still.
We'll see about that. Okay.
Eurovision. Let's come back to that. Who was your favorite this year?
Well.
Aside from
not because I'm biased, but Sweden. But, no, actually they were superb. Watching the national final this year, screaming for their win, literally, that was one of the best experiences this year.
I think they got a good placing.
Fourth place. Yeah. I was kind of surprised that they didn't get as many votes from the public.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, third place is still.
I was expecting more because I thought I saw on the internet that people were like crazy over this song.
Right. So my other favorites. But the problem is with this year that out of 37 entries, only 7 got in my player. So including Sweden. There was Albania that I loved, like with its ethnic elements and all of that.
Zjerm.
Zjerm, exactly.
That was amazing. That was, oh my god.
Even thinking about it, like I got getting goosebumps.
Yeah.
And also Switzerland was amazing for me, even though it was kind of slow. And when we were watching with my friends at my place, we were ranking every single performance, and there was parts where we needed to rank the performance.
Yeah.
And I think many of my friends actually scored it a 0 because nothing was happening according to them. But according to me, a lot of things were happening because it was very artistic.
Yeah, I think the bad thing that happened was the camera malfunction in the first semifinal.
I wouldn't say that it was affected as much.
Well, yeah, it didn't affect it, but it was kind of icky. Like, guys, this is the big show.
Yeah.
And the arena, the placing, it was really good.
Yeah.
And the song, I didn't understand it at first. I was kind of averse to it. I was like, well, yeah, it's French, whatever. And then I remember the day of the Eurovision, we were gathering here. Our editor, he really liked that song, and as I understood, it is about abusive relationship and getting free from it. And we were both on our knees crying to this song when she was performing. Continue.
So when she got zeroed, I was shocked.
Yeah.
And actually after the party, I think I was very slow because I was very sleepy, but I needed to bring some plates back to the kitchen. And throughout the first 45 minutes, going very slowly from the kitchen to the from the what do you call it in English? Living room. From the living room to the kitchen, every single move, I was asking myself, Switzerland got zeroed? Switzerland got zeroed? What? Then, apart from others, so I like the Netherlands. There was a pretty catchy tune, even though it was Stromae from AliExpress, but still.
Who again?
Netherlands, Tel Aviv.
Oh no, that was awful. I hated it. Absolutely. It was the middest song that's ever midded, and it got into the final. I mean, why didn't Australia get into the final? They had an amazing song.
That's a good question.
Yeah, Milkshake Man was amazing.
Yeah.
But
and also I like Finland a lot. That was yeah. I mean, we were trying at the party. We were trying to find our crushes, and I said that Erika Wickman is mine because she was the sexiest, the fiercest. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is
my best friend. He's learning German. He was after her performance because he didn't watch the semifinals and beforehand. He was like, "Ich habe gekonnt."
Yeah. And also I think to latest I would say it was Estonia. I was okay with Espresso Macchiato.
Yeah, it was funny.
It was funny.
Even the Italians are agreeing with it.
No, I mean even I think after it was released, I was kind of into minds about that. But then when I started listening to it more and even trying to sing it, this "Mi amore," that was it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's like an earworm.
Exactly.
It gets in your head.
Exactly. And I think the last one I would mention was San Marino. It was Tutta l'Italia.
I'm really averse to that because did you see
the same reason?
No.
As for Swedish guys?
No.
Sorry, Finnish who represented Sweden.
No. The video in the background, they had, I think it was
the David statue that was there. Chewing gum.
Yeah, it looked like it really looked like it was animated with AI. And I'm really against that.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I have a lot of friends who are artists in any way, shape, or form, and I'm okay with using AI for example, helping you with homework or something technical.
Right.
Maybe I'm when I have problems with my server, I'm okay, let's ask ChatGPT because I cannot find it for the life of me. But using it for art when you could have for Eurovision, you could have asked someone, you could have paid them money. I mean, that's
Yeah.
for me. That was like an ick.
But like with the song, like there's a funny story behind it because like actually the song was used as a jingle for Sanremo Festival, which is an Italian, well, national selection, national festival. I would put it better. I'd say it didn't get into the program because they couldn't find the singers, but it was used as a jingle.
Okay.
But later it was submitted as an entry for San Marini's like Melody Festival and national final,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden won. And we, well, not all of a sudden, it was a very weak selection, but like we all hoped actually that they would score higher than Italy, but they didn't. So yeah, they did come last.
Oh,
So
I didn't like. By the way, I didn't like Italy's entry this year.
Yes.
neither did I.
It was like an underdog song mixed with the guy trying to be at the same time Bowie and Queen.
Right.
And the white face, he looked like a gremlin, honestly. That was. But my favorites, I have my tier list with me always.
All right.
But I didn't update it after the semifinals. So like Portugal, of course. I cried. That was for me. Well, I understand the lyrics and
Yeah.
like understand not by like knowing the language, but like feeling it. I felt them.
Yeah.
Then yeah, Tommy Cash, of course, Kai, Erika Wikman. Wasted Love, yeah, I opted at the last moment because, well, yeah, it's nice. It's not my style, but it's really good. And then, oh my god, Catharsis. That was amazing. Like, it's the second year in a row they put out a good song.
Right.
Miriana Conte, hands down the best. Like, sorry, I think she was prohibited from saying cunt, which is the word used. I don't remember the name of the language. I don't remember.
Maltese.
Yeah, in Maltese.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean what it means in English.
It doesn't.
And they prohibited her from saying that word because it resembled cunt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, not everything is about sex, okay?
Exactly.
And then half the songs are about sex.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And then Gojo,
Yeah.
who is unfortunately, who wasn't in the finals, and Tomatoes.
Yeah.
They were so good. Like the staging, the song, the outfits. It was amazing. And I think in my, who do you think was the worst this year?
Who was the worst in my ranking? In the song ranking, I think it was Croatian guy. Poison Cake. I think.
Oh, Poison Cake was so like
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah.
It was like mine's actually like the I upped Ireland after the semi-final because I was like, yeah, it's also an earworm. It's catchy, like it's
Also
fun.
sort of rookie there, but still, yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
but like also Zifferblatt, I also upped it because that was good. It was good. Well, of course, Israel, never. I think they shouldn't participate. Then Survivor, because we were. It's literally it literally translates to Russian as "Я выживальщик, не умиральщик." And it is so. I cannot even. It's stupid.
She shouldn't have got. He shouldn't have got topless. Actually, shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have.
It was worse. And then Kyle Alessandro.
Basic.
What was it? It was
Basic.
mid. And Nina Žižić, but I don't remember her.
Also basic, yeah.
Yeah.
Basic Balkan ballad. Yeah. Well, the issue with Portugal was for me. If we come back to the top tier that you have, like that's an okay song. I can accept and appreciate the quality. But at Festival de Canção, there were some other songs that I liked more.
Yeah, I didn't watch it this year, unfortunately.
Well,
at the time.
I didn't watch it. I just
You could listen.
listened.
Yeah, they had a
Yeah.
playlist for it.
And unfortunately, 3 songs that I liked got eliminated in the semifinals.
I think it was me with the year before the last year when Mimicat got to Eurovision. I'm still kind of sour about it.
Yeah.
Our editor will not agree with me, but
Neither would I.
I hated her song. I mean, she shouldn't have gotten in because there was Edmundo Inácio, who had a better song. There were I don't remember the name of the band, but Bandeiras. the song Bandeiras, which is a good social commentary and it is catchy. I mean, it's so esoteric. That was good. And also Claudia Pascoal with Nasci Maria, which was also, first of all, social commentary on the inequality and the expectations from women, and the way that society in Portugal perceives women as like just the workers, like the force. And the song like Nasci Maria, I was born Maria, meaning like a lot of women back in the day in Portugal were named Maria, and like then the next generation was named after their mothers, and then again and again and again. And it was like it meant like I'm not my grandmother, I'm not my mother, I'm my own person, and you shouldn't expect from me what you expect from me, like honor, marriage, and all that. So yeah, and there were a lot. Always when the national selections happen, I don't really like get it, because sometimes the good songs get eliminated, and then like for some reason the mid songs get through. But I was pretty surprised with Sweden. I think I was watching your stories from Melody Festival, and when you were watching it and you were cheering for Kai. I was like, I didn't even listen. I was like, okay, but the box too. The song about sauna.
That's the greatest songs. I mean, like
I didn't understand it at the moment, but then me and our editor, we were watching. I was ranking the performances before semifinals. I was like, that's really good. It's catchy, and I was really surprised that such a complex staging got to the final. Because, well, trees, the sauna benches, the whatever, the fire lumber, and all of that, like it's really
sausage.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Yeah, I mean it's really complex compared to a lot of other performances. The saddest thing was that the Cyprus didn't get to the finals. They had a good song, and the performance, but his voice was not
weak.
On,
not on point.
But
yeah,
I mean, good that said that like Red Sebastian didn't also go to the finals because like it was his birthday.
Yeah.
During the semifinals.
That's the saddest thing. Yeah.
He was so sad, but also strobe lights. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna sit like this because I couldn't. By the way, it was not as much strobe lights. There were not as much strobe lights in his song as in Survivor. I was like, I could watch strobe lights. I couldn't watch Survivor because it was literally seizure inducing. They should have run like the warning. That's awful.
Yeah.
And why did Italy was the only country who had subtitles?
They requested. That was the part of the performance.
What? So everyone would know that they're the underdogs? Like, I was scared of the Dari, like all that stuff. I mean, that's.
But Italy actually uses this subtitles card quite a lot. Like, I mean, they like doing that in general.
I mean, I don't remember that with Ziti Iboni.
They did. Well, Ziti Iboni was pretty clear.
Yeah.
Without subtitles, I would say.
He was a clear winner. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. That's right.
That's so. You were also talking about that you're a public speaking consultant.
Yes.
Yeah. How does that work?
Well, that's a good question. That's a tricky one because I've been doing this, I think maybe now for 4 years or something, and officially maybe for 2. But by officially, I mean that I, as you mentioned, I do present at conferences a lot.
Yeah.
And basically, I think it was maybe in 2022 or 2021, I don't remember exactly, I was asked to help with so-called moderations. Moderation is a process when speakers, before the actual conference, they come to me or my colleagues and we go through the presentation, the performance, they present the actual thing for me and we correct it, we make it better. And then after that, they do present it at the conference. And then one day, I got a request from one of the speakers. After like she saw me perform, and right after that performance, she asked me whether I was giving any consultations or whatever, something like this, and I started doing that. So basically, usually people can come to me with, for example, the request of actually polishing their performances or finding the topics that they could present on. So we do some questionnaires, and we discuss a lot of different things, and what they are good at and what they can talk about. But lately, it's not my consultancy and my public speakingism. Let's put it this way. Is showcased a bit differently, because in September last year I started a project that is called Public Speaking Club, and that's actually a game.
Oh.
That's a game where we train public speaking skills, improvising, storytelling, and the thing that I'm not sure if we can find a normal English expression for, but I would say it's like freedoming, I don't know, something like раскрепощение, something like that.
Freeing, you could say that.
Yeah, because like as I found out when I tried to Google раскрепощение and try to find the actual English equivalent, I got into the etymology of this word, and I realized that it's very Russian, because it comes from 1861 when крепостное право was over, and I didn't understand even like before that I hadn't understood why it was called раскрепощение or расколывание or something like that. So basically, we gather in small groups, online and offline. Actually, after the recording, I'm going to the game, and we improvise on different topics, on different concepts, and we play different roles. And people do not have any time to prepare, so they get a topic, for example, I don't know, an apple, and they need to talk about an apple for a minute or two.
Oh, like an exam, for example, like in an exam you get a topic and you should be able to speak freely on the topic.
Sort of, but for example, you two should talk about the apple being, I don't know, a president of a country, or you should talk about a house being a cleaning lady wanting a raise.
I mean, it's kind of got your craziness, because
kind of.
yeah, it's full on your craziness. It's like your type stuff. Because do you remember the lessons you were giving us? Absolutely unhinged vocabularies that didn't have, like, the words didn't have anything in common. And you were like, well, no, write a story about it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
What? Like Jenga with the words.
Jenga with the words.
A lot of games. That was.
Actually, like you saw me, like when you met me at the station, you saw me with the bag.
Yeah.
The bag is full of different stuff that we will be using today during the game, and including some Swedish and Icelandic words, because I decided that okay, with Icelandic words, there are not the actual words but the translations. So they would, like, for example, like I don't know, accounting which is a computer, for example, or like a picture thrower, which is a TV set, something like that.
I don't remember the TV.
Or like traveling wire, which is a mobile phone. So they will be talking about that, and also like there will be. I took some Imaginarium cards with me, so they will be talking about them and memes and all the other stuff.
I'm so not surprised about you bringing a shit ton of stuff to like any event.
But the problem is that like it runs in the family, sort of, because like
your mother is a teacher, I think.
And the father too, actually. And father is much more creative than my mother.
Oh.
Sorry, mother. I know that you will be watching, but still. Yeah, and but I think like there was one time when I think it was maybe in January, when I took like this huge bag of stuff, including the pictures that were drawn for me, Eurovision related, and also some other stuff. And there was a huge bag of it. And when my father saw that, he said like, yeah, it does run in your genes, you know, like it's like to bring the whole house to the set. That's our thing. That's actually true. Sometimes I do get lucky enough just to bring my backpack. That when they're not as much stuff as I take, but usually yeah, that's something like that.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I mean, I try to be a good teacher, professor, whatever. I mean, I am going to be called professor in like 3 or 4 months, and that's crazy.
And that is something that I was never called.
You are called a teacher.
A teacher, yes. Yes.
Which is a huge difference. Yeah, and I try to kind of do more diverse lessons. I mean, if we're talking about Swedish, for example, which for me is like, at first I've never taught Swedish, but I was like, well, how hard can it be? I mean, I know the basics, first of all.
You do.
And something hard, I will remember along the way, it's not that hard.
Right.
Like Swedish, turns out it's pretty simple. Well,
it is.
It is. I was surprised because in my head it was always like kind of hard, but like for me personally, when I was asked about it, I would say, yeah, it's easy. It's like English but easier.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Sort of like phonetics, maybe. But they don't have cases, they don't have like different forms of verbs anymore, which is cool.
It is.
Aside from 6 different groups of verbs. But, well,
6,
four, but the second is divided into, and the fourth
into
is
3, right, and into sort of 3.
Yeah.
And the fourth into sort of 3.
Two.
Well,
In
two,
the
two
textbook,
sort of 3.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
So yeah, more than 4 basically.
Yeah. And also 5 groups of nouns, and also.
Nouns are kind of easier to remember. There is.
What about the plurals, my dear?
Bokböcker.
That's good. That's good.
That's the only thing. Döttrar.
That's good that you remember this exception.
Because that was the homework that I gave to my student, which was in Form and Focus, that big like 5 or 7 I think pages, 9 pages of converting words from oh my god.
Lord have mercy.
Obestemt, bestemt, plural, obestemt, plural, bestemt form.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like.
Yeah, I used to do the same way. Yeah.
That's actually that's a good practice because
it is.
He's getting it, and it's easier for him to kind of he doesn't use the dictionary anymore to understand the for example ubestemt form.
Right.
Which I don't remember the word for in English. Undefined. Indefinite.
Indefinite, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's something I do remember. And the funniest thing is that our chat, so we have 2 chats, the personal chat and then the work chat with him. And our kind of studying work chat is called Swedish Frogs.
Svenska grodor.
Because we're indefinite people.
Okay, as a title it works.
Yeah. Well, why doesn't it work as...
Because grammatically it's supposed to be de svenska grodorna.
Oh my god! You're insufferable.
But as a title that works.
I'm already regretting inviting you.
Welcome back.
I miss the lessons. I really miss the lessons. Personally, I wish I would still be like learning because I need to get my level back up. But like, you have a lot of stuff on your hands. So
if I ever start, and I would love to do this public speaking club in Swedish, I would say, yeah, I would welcome you there as well.
That would be nice. I mean, do you still give the Swedish lessons?
I do, of course. Yeah, of course.
In groups mostly, as I remember.
No.
In September, you had like in your stories the price list and all that. That was
didn't work. No, I mean like I did gather some people, but not from that set of stories. So not from that set of stories, but yeah. So I do have both individuals and in groups now, and not as much, but like enough.
Yeah, I mean, I really miss the lessons because of the craziness. Because also individual lessons are honestly better because you can go at your own pace. You can do whatever you want, whatever is most interesting to you. Those were the days.
Those were the days.
I mean, we're talking like we're so old now. Like it wasn't like just a year ago.
Well, I am 31, you are 22, we are old.
Stop reminding me that. I don't want to think about being my own adult person.
Come on, like being an adult is fun.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's. I mean, being a child is also fun, and being adult is more an adult. It's more responsibilities, more stuff to do, but there's fun in doing a lot of different stuff that children cannot do. For example, and like being free to do whatever you want.
Right.
So, I mean, if I finish the university with a red diploma.
What do you mean if?
When?
Thank you.
When I finish the university with a red diploma, I'm getting a tattoo.
Oh,
And I'm piercing my nose.
that's gonna be a fun t-shirt.
I mean, the septum is,
But still,
it's okay. I'm not going to have a tattoo on like the most visible place because it's kind of.
on forehead, of course.
But
But who knows?
we have a teacher in our university who's like covered in tattoos, and he's really good. Like he's a rocker.
Right.
He's a really good translator. He also does he gives lectures on soft skills and public speaking.
Right.
And he's really cool, and I think that's why he's allowed to have like openly his tattoos, like whole hands covered in like esoteric stuff and just like rocker tattoos. Like I can't. He's really cool. And he also wears like his mustache like this, like you were wearing at one time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you at some point having like this cool mustache.
Well, they were rolling by themselves, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were curling by themselves.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
that was cool.
It was, but it was a bit harder to handle.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But you do remember me in different eras, so like.
I remember you. Yeah, I mean, we were like I was studying with you for how long? Like 6 years. Like studying.
I think studying is like maybe a bit shorter because we met in 2019. So
Yeah.
it's been 6 years up till now.
Yeah. Well.
So yeah.
Well, 5 maybe. Sort of. And even working with you was amazing because like I was working with Alex. I was making those like interactive lessons. I was a bad employee. I was missing my deadlines and not doing anything. But I think I still managed in time, kind of.
You did, yeah.
Well, the first lessons were on time, and then I had like 2 lessons. It was not that hard. I don't understand why I was like putting it off.
Yeah, same here with some of my deadlines that I have now. So
Yeah.
So that's okay.
That's life, Joe. This is just life.
Exactly.
I mean, I think I had my term paper then. I was in 4th year.
Yeah, you were.
I was. Oh my god, I was studying with you like up until the 5th year of my studies. That's crazy. Like, basically, you saw me through school, like through the latest year of school, and then, well, quite literally through university, because you're still subscribed, I think, to my channel. Like,
Yeah.
so like you saw me through my like at my worst, and then at my whatever this is now. I don't think this is my best. I think I can do better. But this is a point where I'm like better than I was when I was 16. I was like a rebellious teen. I was like, there is no such thing as maximalism. That's not real. I'm not maximalist. I'm a normal teenager. No. that was just maximalism. I was like, okay. I'm looking back at my decisions now. I'm like, damn. No. Not anymore, not me, not now.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? She's always laughing. Well, I think that we can finish for today. Yeah, by the way, we were drinking Tess Tropical Sun. I forgot to mention it at the beginning. Again, I was really grateful to have you today. I was hoping that you will one day be here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for telling us your story with like Swedish and everything.
Thank you for having me.
You're always welcome here, like always. I mean,
Yes, you are.
yeah.
Thank you.
Even though like our production team today is only 2 people besides me, still, we would be happy to have you again.
Thank you
And
very much.
I think that's all for today. Subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like and share. You can find our Telegram channel link in the description, our Yandex Music link, all Alex's links you can also find in the description. And we'll see you next time. Bye!